Cyberpunk has a very original structure, and that structure is that the whole prologue is slightly different intentionally than the rest of the game. And the reason for that is because we want to build this hope, this belief here that you as a player, you can think like, yeah, the game's gonna be about shooting and guns and like, you know, all of those, you know, it's gonna be like big money and like clubs and bars and fun, shootouts, chases, and then it turns out it actually leads to this.
Hello YouTube, my name is Shiffo and welcome to my channel. Pawel Sasko, the lead quest designer of Cyberpunk 2077, is breaking down the Heist quest with Miles Tost, the senior level designer. This video is a summary of the 3.5 hour stream. Please note this video contains spoiler and I appreciate the early thumbs up. Let's get into the video. Alright, first off, Pawel mentions that Jacky is very excited to start the quest and that he is a person that always follows his own rules, so he's calling his mother or Misty before an important mission. It was also noted that the entrance of the afterlife is a homage to the bar in Akira. Next up, they mentioned that sitting is one of the most powerful tools from the developers to show something to the player. When the briefing of the mission happens, Pawel mentions how Jacky is posing himself to be a big shot, while Dexter and T-Bug are really relaxed in the room. And once the situation starts to get tense, you can see that Jacky starts to be very nervous with shaking his leg up and down. When they are driving to the Konpeki Plaza, it is discussed that they determine early how long the rides need to be and how long the conversations are. During the first phase of the quest, role-playing is actually emphasized, where you can play the part of this weapons dealer talking to the receptionist and roaming the bar and talking to other characters. Miles mentions the work involved with designing the Konpeki Plaza, which was internally called the Arasaka Hotel at the beginning of development. There actually were a lot of iterations during development where they even started in the garage instead of ending the quest there. He mentions lots of time went into designing the lobby, which needs to be a combat space or stealth space, but still needs to look great as a fancy hotel. Mentioning that he gave a note with blocks painted in the lobby and the design team made something fancy with it. During this quest, a connection is made with the open world quest and a lot of the people showing up later in the game are introduced here. Later, when extracting the relic, a lot of work is performed to build the tension, with the music used and also showing the AV arriving when you are fixing your place. And Pawel also mentioned that initially you were meant to go straight into the air duct, but by going to the elevator first, a new feeling of tension is created for the player. During the scene between Yorinobu and Saburo, tension is created with the music, and Yorinobu and Saburo are slowly creeping towards each other until the climax happens. Pawel emphasizes the fear that Jacky is feeling. When Takamura arrives at the scene, Yorinobu is stalling him immediately, because he knows that otherwise he will be caught. But Pawel also mentions that Takamura already has a suspicion. He knows something is up. After this moment, everything is slowly falling apart, with T-Bug being attacked, V and Jacky are barely escaping from the Konpeki, and with this I will play a clip of Pawel and Miles explaining what the prologue of Cyberpunk 2077 actually meant for V and the world they are trying to build.
But you know, it makes you think, like, this whole situation just makes you think like, okay, was it actually the right call? Was it actually worth it? Was it actually real and is it really like the, you know, is really the Night City a city of dreams? You know, the whole prologue is built in a way to make you believe that it is, you know, that the game is gonna be about like heists and big money and shootouts and so on, and then it turns out after this moment that it's not. And I had a really excellent conversation with Tomek Marchewka, you know, our story lead, about this topic, because Cyberpunk has a very original structure, and that structure is that the whole prologue is slightly different intentionally than the rest of the game. And the reason for that is because we want to build this hope, this belief here that you as a player, you can think like, yeah, the game's gonna be about shooting and guns and like, you know, all of those, you know, it's gonna be like big money and like clubs and bars and fun, shootouts, chases, and then it turns out it actually leads to this, you know, eventually.
Yeah, someone said it really, really well there. At the end, Night City always wins, right?
See you in the major leagues, Jack.
How do you like the idea that antagonist of Cyberpunk is the city itself? Yeah, exactly. This is what we are talking about, right? Because it just makes you like, we want you to think about the reality. We want you to think like, okay, what really this game is about? What really like, what was really the premise? You know, like V, you know, has been promised so many different things, you know, by Dex and so on, and then there's this moment really where like when you need to face the reality.
Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.